All right, so here's how this is going to work. I really want to break it down. We want to break it down. So along with like the other leaders in our group, in this group, break down the power hour for you guys, because I think sometimes the new coach trainings have been just throwing information at you guys, when really I want to show you guys hands-on, like what do we sit down every day and do, and how do we do it? So I think we could say, like, you know, we have our power hour sheets and we can say like friend contact 5 people a day, but how do you do that? I love you. Okay, go upstairs to Daddy. Love you. But how do you do that? So what we're going to do over the next, I think we can have like the 4 short calls scheduled. It's only going to be like 10-15 minutes, quick, to the point, showing you and breaking down exactly how we do our power hour. And then in between, we're going to be talking a lot about social media, personal development, some of those things that are also important if you're doing your power hour. So hopefully you guys have your trackers. I like this one, but Issa posted a bunch of them in there, so pick whichever one, you know, resonates with you. I think that it really doesn't matter where you write your stuff as long as you're keeping track. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I printed this off 2 minutes ago for you guys just so I could show you. I keep track on Google Docs now. I'm not very good at keeping track of stuff, which is probably why my downline isn't that good at it. I also keep like ridiculous amounts of unorganized lists in my agenda. I'm just going to show you guys, for example, like complete honesty here. Like I just make lists all the time, but I have like more professional ones in my Google, which I'm going to show you. So hopefully you guys have your list, and I'm going to show you how I break down the power hour, the first section of the power hour, and then we've got Jamie, we've got Janelle on, 2 of our strong leaders in Team Alive, and they can show you theirs. So the first thing I'm going to talk about and show you is how I find my new friends and get my new contacts, and what I send them when I get them. So I'm going to share my screen, and literally, like, you guys are going to see exactly what I do every single day. You guys are going to see all my secrets. All right, so let me get Facebook pulled up here. So this is what I do during my power hour. I'm also going to say that I run free clean eating challenge groups, and I do get new contacts that way, although that's not what I typically do during my power hour. It's sort of like a once a month kind of thing. And I also use Instagram a little bit. But right now I'm going to show you what I do on Facebook during my power hour. So, and for whatever reason, when I get on Facebook, when I'm sharing my screen, it goes so slowly. Okay, so I go right to my profile. And you guys, I mean, if you feel free to like do this right along with me, so you guys can get your beginning of your power hour done. And I go to friends. And I go to find friends. And then, all these are really weird requests. Okay, so then I go to people you may know, okay? And then I go right down the list and I see who I can add. Now, I always look at the mutual friends, and I never friend request anyone, at least not on purpose, who has a mutual friend of another coach. And I've got a lot of coach friends from Super Saturday, people who know me from Super Saturday, people from Team Phoenix, from our team. So I go down and I find someone who's a mutual friend, and I tend to click on their profile just to see if they're like someone I think I would click with. And but I'm not too picky, so I'm gonna keep going down here. I tend to go with girls too. I don't tend to do like these people. Like this girl, I believe I could friend request her. So I look and see if there's anyone who's like a mutual friend who is a coach, blah, blah, blah. My computer is moving at a snail's freaking pace. So I just go through. She's friends with this girl who is a coach that I know, so I'm not going to friend request her. I'm going to close that out. And then I'm actually going to remove this person because she's got a mutual friend. You see this girl, Christy Lynn's friends with her. I'm not going to friend request her even though she's a neighbor, but it's all good. This one maybe. Nope, she's got a mutual friend. Oh, this one might be a good one. 48 mutual friends. Let's see. So I mean, you guys can go through it. This is what I spend like 10 minutes a day doing this. This one might be a good one. And the funny thing is that the more people you friend request, oh no, good. The more people you friend request, the more people pop up in this as you go. Does that make sense? So you never really run out of people to send friend requests to. Who's this girl? Let's see. Oh, Jen McNeil. So no on her. I'm going to remove her. See this girl. It's got a son. Oh, Megan. Nope. Remove. Some of these, like, I recognize the names a little bit, so I'm kind of being picky. Oh, this one might be okay. Okay, I'll add her. So you guys kind of get the point. Now, who's this girl? Oh, that girl is one of Jen McNeil's coaches, Kimberly Ann, so I'm not going to do her. She's a coach, I believe. Who's this girl? I don't see any coaches there. Okay, so I'm going to friend request her. Okay, so once I've sent my friend request, I'm going to go to my messenger. Now, the first day, obviously, you're probably not going to do this because you got to wait for people to friend request you or to accept your friend request. But I'm going to go to my messenger and I'm going to go to my people who accepted me from the day before or the day before, They kind of collect and they come in. After you've been doing it for a couple weeks, they kind of come in, they trickle in. And I send them all the same message, and I'm not going to take credit for it. I got it from Chelsea Hamrick on our team, so some of you may have seen it, but I'm not organized enough to have it somewhere, but I'm going to find one that I sent already. I sent a bunch this morning. Let's see. No. Sorry, guys, it's moving so slow. Let's see. I also did a solid power hour this morning, so I gotta find a message that I sent, and I can share it with you guys as well. Oh, here's one. Okay. So I just say to them, hi there, thanks for the ad. I noticed we have a few awesome friends in common, so I figured you were pretty cool too. And I often get a response. I don't always get a response, but I often get a response. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go up to someone who accepted my friend request. This girl did today. And the nice thing is it connects you on Messenger, so it kind of organizes it for you. And I'm going to paste it and send it. There you go. So that's what I do with them. Now, I'm going to show you really quick. I don't really want to get into this, but I'm going to show you really quick how I organize them. I'm going to go back to my profile. I also have I try really hard to keep a running list of all the new people. I don't do a ton with that list, I'm going to be honest, but so then I'm going to go to my friends, back to my friends. And I'm going to go to recently added. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, this is going so slow. So this will list all the people that have been added, that I have added recently, and then I can add them to a list. So I'm going to add them to, I have a September list. It's over now. We're in October. I haven't started my October list yet. So I'll start an October list. So I start an October list, new list, October new peeps. I'm going to add her to that list. Now, all that does, I'm going to take her off of this list. All that does is puts them on a friends list. So then I can go to my home. And this is actually something that you like if you're at the point where you could have somebody do this for you. That's where I'm at with this. God, this is going so slow. It's driving me crazy. So then you have all these lists of people that will filter your newsfeed. So I have like my check-ins is people that I've checked in with. So if I check in, like if I spend, I typically what's called batching. So I'll spend like 2 or 3 days a week just checking in with people throughout the month. It depends on where I'm at in my month. And then once I checked in with them, like people from the last 6 months, I'll add them to this list so I can go through and make sure I'm liking and commenting on their stuff. So I'll show you my September new people. I click on that and it filters the feed. It only brings up their stuff. Okay. So here we go. Like this is a perfect post. This girl to like and comment on. So I'll like it or I'll love it and I'll say, I'll comment something. And it was fresh. Like I always look at the time. Like this was only 25 minutes ago. You know, if it was like 3 days ago, it's kind of weird if I'm going in there and commenting on all her stuff. So I'm trying to do this regularly. So so I might say like, she's adorable. Exclamation point. Like it makes sense. I have kids too. It's not like a weird comment. I mean, I could probably do something with this post. So that's how I'm doing. And the reason for this is just so that you stay connected with them. Their stuff is then going to start showing up in your news feed the more you're liking, commenting on their stuff. The problem is that we're constantly interacting with each other and other coaches. So when you go into your news feed, I don't know what you guys see, but I see like all of your guys' stuff and all the coaches from Team Phoenix, like their stuff and my current challenges, which is fine. I like to see all their stuff, but then you're missing out on interacting with possible new contacts, which means they're not seeing your stuff. So when you're posting like, oh, I've got a free cleaning group, or I've got, you know, a virtual wellness studio or whatever it is that you're running, and you get no comments on it, it's not because no one's interested. It may be because no one's seeing it. Facebook's hiding it from these people because you're always interacting with just coaches. So then all the coaches are going to see that call to action post, and obviously no coaches are going to comment on it because they're running their own groups basically. So that's why this keeps them kind of current. This also makes it kind of bridges that gap. It doesn't happen all the time, but it kind of opens the door to them to come to you if they want to work on their health and fitness journey. You know, those messages I send to these people, they don't all segue into, so you want to join a Beachbody coach and work in my challenge group? They don't all segue to that, but it opens that door. And it kind of gives me, if people write back to me with that message that I send them, it makes me feel okay about inviting them to my community group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to share that. I'll actually share it in the group. I'm going to share the little message that I send to people so you guys can have that if you want it. It's worked wonders for me. And that is exactly how I do the first section of my Power Hour. I do it every single day. I add at least 5 people. They don't all accept, so my hope is that, you know, if I add 10, I'm going to get 5 people to accept my friend request. I'm not going to get into social media too much tonight, but it's also key, something to start thinking about, that if you're friend requesting these people, that you are posting something of value on your social media, something that offers them something. And it's not to say every single post has to be like, you know, giving them something for free, but what are you posting? Does your Facebook page, if you're friend requesting these people, does your Facebook page, is it interesting? Basically, you have to be interesting. You got to learn how to be interesting. Does your Facebook page look like a Beachbody, like, you know, vomited all over and it's just Beachbody ads, or are you branding yourself? Are you, you know, is there something there for them to see, kind of thing? I try to post something of value once a day. It doesn't always happen, but that's sort of my goal. I shared that list of things yesterday that actually Megan shared in Team Phoenix, but I shared it in our mini Team Alive Academy group. If you're finding you don't have anything to post, like grab something from that list, like a recipe or something about your workout or whatever. There was a whole list of things. So, Jamie or Janelle, do either of you have something different that you want to share about finding new contacts, specifically more geared toward new coaches?
I think one thing that makes a huge difference is making sure things are public. And I didn't share a ton on social media to begin with, before I was a coach, and it was always kid stuff, like not my photos or anything like that. And then I started making things public and then tagging people that are in those photos, or, I don't tag my husband and everything, but I do tag him on things that aren't like Beachbody specific, but may bring in people, whether it's just about mom life with kids. And then anyone that likes those, that might be my target audience, I'll friend request them when they like or comment on my post. I don't typically friend request any of the guys just because I can't really connect with them very well. And it's, that's a personal preference. Like a lot of, some people do and some people don't. For me, I just, my target audience is, women, moms. So that's brought in people that I normally wouldn't have reached otherwise. And I do that both on my Instagram account and my Facebook account are public. Every once in a while I'll change a post and make it where it's just between friends if it's something that, maybe I don't want to share with everyone. So you can do that. You can modify, you can pick and choose your post. Another one that I haven't mastered very well, because you have to be careful in Facebook groups because you can get kicked out or reported. But, making sure that you find a few groups that you, relate to, whether it's traveling or, sewing or whatever your niche about you is, and going in there and just like you do with your friends on your Facebook, but also in that group is commenting and liking and interacting with those people. And then, if you've noticed any of those public groups, the same people kind of tend to go in there and share and comment. So you can slowly start building relationships. That one takes more time, I feel like. But I know there's coaches that go in there and they friend request and, they have no issues. But that's another way to build your contacts that I didn't ever think about before.
I want to, Jamie, you mentioned something. When I first became a coach, the first way I did this was I went through close friends and Tim, my husband, his friend request, his friends list. That was the first thing I did, like especially Tim. I went through his list of friends, which wasn't very many, he's not big on social media, but and just sent friend requests to people who it made sense to send friend requests to. And I'm going to be honest so Megan was not my first coach. I had a different coach who was actually an elite top 10 coach at one point, and she's still a big name coach in Beachbody. And I found her through Tim. She had sent Tim a friend request like years ago when she first started as a coach. So I through the connections, I found her, and that's how I first got into Beachbody. So, but I tend to not friend request guys either. But if their husband or if their wife looks like someone maybe you would connect with, that's a good thing to do. And then I went through some of my good friends list and friend request their friends, that kind of thing. So Christy Lynn, it is in our group page. I will tag you so you can see that post. Christy Lynn, you're awesome on social media. And I was going to say one more thing about that. Something that I really like doing on social media. I don't follow a ton of top coaches, but I follow maybe 2 or 3. And I try to pick out why I like them. Like, what is it about those coaches that draws me to them? Is it their pictures? Is it what they're posting? Is it, their interest? Like, how are they posting? And I don't copy them because, you don't want to copy anybody. But for example, I'll use this as an example. A while back, I kind of did like a social media audit on myself, and I was looking at other coaches that I follow, and I was like, why do I like them over like this? Like this, someone says they really connect with this coach, but I don't connect with them. Why do I connect with this coach instead? And one thing, it sounds stupid, it sounds silly, but I really like to see the full body shot of people. I don't just want to see like selfie after selfie after selfie, or half their body, or just a portion, or whatever, all the time. It sounds really weird, but I want to see the full body shot. So I'm like, okay, I gotta start taking full body shots. I don't have like a good selfie mirror, or our our mirrors upstairs, they show like a ton of clutter and crap in our back. Like that's just how our house. So I'm like, I gotta figure out a spot where I can take a picture that has like a clean background, doesn't show all my junk in the background, and I can have a full body shot. So anyways, I highly recommend you like figure out why you like somebody, like what makes you seek them out, and then maybe figure out, pinpoint what it is about them, and then make your kind of gear your social media that way if you're looking for a place to start. Janelle, about the list. So once I add the person as a friend and they accept, they'll show up in my recently added friends, and then I just click on it and I add them to whatever list I want. So I tend to make a new list per month. So, obviously my September news feed, then I can go into those friend lists and filter it, click on September friends list, and all those people that I added to it, that I actually added to it, show up in my feed, in that feed. Then I go through and just like and comment.
So you won't see other things in your feed? You'll just see that?
Whoever I added. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's a good thing to do. It's a good thing of getting in the habit of doing, and that's why the idea of a power hour I think is so great, because for a long time I just worked off my phone, like when I was standing at the counter, when I was putting the kids to bed. But when I'm actually sitting down at my computer is when I do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew about the recently added and stuff, but I didn't know you could create lists. So
right.
That's cool.
I want to keep these short, but does anyone have any other questions or things? I don't mind staying on as long as people are okay or have questions. I don't just want to shoot information at you though.
I've been, I joined a group called Older Moms Rock. Jenny's also in that group. I think she might have been the one who told me about it. So these are moms that are over 40,
mm-hmm.
and they're from all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't friended anybody in there yet, but I think I probably will semi soon, because that's my target audience. Becky, you might want to check it out too. Not that, I mean, we're both, moms in our 40s, or we started in our late 30s, early 40s. And, but most of these groups are not for soliciting, but a lot of them are seeking out health and fitness, and, they post about that, and what it's like to be a mom starting late in your life,
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've found other friends in other groups because of you talking to you about that before. So, that is my target audience. Moms like me who maybe struggled with their weight for a long time and then decided later on that they wanted to get healthy for their children, and themselves. So,
groups are another really good way to find people. But it's that groups take a little bit more effort and work, because you have, getting to that point where a friend request makes sense. So think about just making friends, and
commenting on their posts and getting to know people that way before you just go straight out and friending with them,
But another really good way.
Just accept your friendship. I mean, so.
And if you're on Instagram, Instagram is another really great way, and it's basically like going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole in Instagram.
Right.
So, but
yes.
I'm not going to talk about Instagram right this second because you can't.
Well, we're going to do that on the call with Megan, I think, right? With social media stuff, or no?
Possibly.
Yeah.
So, specific hashtags. I don't find hashtags to be. I haven't found hashtags to be super. I don't know. They haven't brought me a ton of new contacts. I do use them. And I've looked up, I've done some research on hashtags, and obviously the more specific, the better, and blah blah blah. I kind of feel like, my own opinion, I don't know if this is true, but the regular person's not looking up hashtags that much. Where I have found people on Instagram is, first of all, anybody who's a new friend on Facebook. Your Facebook and Instagram are connected. Anyone who's a new friend on Facebook will pop up eventually a day or two later on your Instagram and your notifications. Like, Karen, blah, blah, blah. Your new friend Karen from Facebook is on Instagram. Follow. So that's one way. Another way that I've found to be okay, not that I've gotten like a ton of, like sales or anything out of this, but if you go to something on Instagram that you're interested in, like for example, like I've been trying to break into the UK market. So recently I spent some time going to like Kate Middleton fan pages and go through her followers. And this, again, it's like a rabbit hole. So I go through Kate Middleton, whatever the fan pages are, followers, and I'll check them out and see, like I'll do a quick scan of their Instagram. Is it someone that I think I maybe could connect with? I'll follow, maybe like, come back to them another day, maybe add a comment, start a conversation somehow. It's a little more awkward on Instagram. For me, it's more awkward, but I'm getting used to that. So thinking about that is sort of how, I have found new people on Instagram. I mean, and it doesn't even have to be a big name like Kate Middleton fan page. Like even if I go to like, I recently have had like an influx of like some like Churchville Childline moms because of one mom that I met through soccer or whatever, what we found on Instagram. So I kind of spent some time one day like going through her friends and following people who maybe, might connect with that way. So it's really like a rabbit hole. You could search location like that. I think even searching location is better than searching a hashtag, I have found. What else? The Instagram stories. I mean, I think it really connects you to people in some, way, shape, form. And that for me has gone from like 20 eyes on it, and it's gone up to like 400 eyes. So I mean, between, you know what I mean. So I feel like that's grown me a bit as well for Instagram. But I'm not great at Instagram yet, so I just don't even. I've been trialing and erroring for like 4 months now, so we'll see what happens. But consistency is obviously key. And like pages is another place. If you don't have a like page and you're in this business for the long haul, I think working from your profile page. Here's the deal on like pages. Like pages don't get any eyes on them unless you pay for it. No one's gonna see it. Maybe a couple people here and there, unless you're paying and targeting ads, which works. Targeted ads work if you're doing the ads right, but that's where you're going to have to put money in. So I think, and a decent amount of money. I mean, I'm probably putting like $50 a week into my Facebook ads right now on my like page, and it's not getting me as far as I might hope that it is. But creating one and getting on that track and starting to post on it, it's not going to hurt you. And, all those, probably once a month, I go through my new friends and invite them to my like page with the idea that eventually, hopefully, my like page will grow much larger. But at the time, you can see on your like page who's seeing your post. And I mean, it's like nothing. It's like very few eyes are on my post unless I'm boosting it. So, but that's another way to get new contacts. I'm not going to get into it totally right now, but anyone else have any good questions?
Katie, can I add something?
Sure.
I would just, if you're new and you look at your friends list and you feel like, you know, it's not very big or whatever. And you look at another coaches and you're like, oh my gosh, they have so many more friends. Don't compare, because one thing that I neglected was the friends that I already had on my list. You know, there's a lot that, you know, I'm building relationships with now that are interested in my next challenge group. They're people I've known from high school. So, you know, it's definitely start with those you already know, and you know, you want to be growing continually, but you know, don't neglect those that are already on your list. You know, reaching out to them and contacting them, because you already do have a relationship there. So
Absolutely, totally. And I think that'll come with the next section of the Power Hour on what day is today? Thursday or Tuesday, Thursday. But absolutely, I mean, and she's right. You can't compare. Sometimes I compare my number of friends to people, and sad. True. Christy Lynn, stories are actually right at the top of Instagram. At least mine are. You may have to update, but like, can you guys, I can't see. Can you kind of see the circles at the top if I like hold it right in the light, like up here? So those are the stories. So you can add, you add your own. So basically, what is stories? It's like a lot. It's not live, but it's like a little clip, video clip of your life, kind of. And this is another thing that I did with like I said, I did with like social media. I watched coaches' stories and figure out who I liked and who I didn't like, and why I liked them and why I didn't like them. For example, I love like Danielle Natoni and Tanya Barone, but they both talk too much for me on their Instagram stories. I can't, like, I don't have time to sit and listen to like 15 minutes of talking. Of course, my Instagram story today is some talking, but I just don't have time for that. So I try to just steer clear of like too much of me talking, because I'm like, if I don't want to listen to these like geniuses talking, like they're like fitness gurus, like who's gonna want to listen to me? So I tried not to talk too much. I also like to see kind of clips of people's real lives. So I try to do clips of my real life, like not just like a little, again, like maybe it goes along with my full body shots. I don't just like to see like a little like sliver. Like I want to see like what's going on. Like what does their house look like? What does this look like? What do their kids look like? What does their husband look like? Like I don't want to just see like, you know, like one glass, like what's around the glass. I want to see more. So I try to do it that way. I like humor, so I like when people are kind of funny, like show like their real life. Like Shalene Johnson did a really funny one a couple weeks ago where she was like arguing, kind of fake arguing with her husband. They were arguing for real, but it was kind of like humorous arguing with her husband in like, I don't know if anyone saw this, in their like movie room. And I'm like laughing hysterically. I love that kind of humor. So again, just watching a couple people's stories and figure out what you like and what you don't like, and then just kind of taking that and making it your own, if that makes any sense. I try to keep like 4 or 5-ish a day on mine. I try to think of stuff to put on there. And this doesn't, a lot of mine don't have to do with working out. Some of them do, some of them don't. So, all right, I'm going to end this. We can get on this. The Team Phoenix calls at 9 if you want to hop on. Again, that's recorded as well. You can't get on. You can't get on everything, I realize. So just get on when you can. Get on stuff that you can get on. I'm sorry that we went so far over, but I hope you guys got some stuff out of this. You can go find some new friends and contacts. I think it is super important to keep adding to your network. So even if you spend like 5 minutes a day just adding friends, even if you don't get so far as like add them to a list, like don't go in over your head. You know, even if you just add them right now, start somewhere and just start adding people and sharing a little bit on Facebook, and eventually you will get there to the, you know, making the list and going through the news, you know, filtering your news feed and all that stuff, but you have to start somewhere. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the group or message one of us privately or whatever. Thank you all for being on. I was like, I hope people get on tonight. But Janelle and Jamie, thank you guys for sharing. And yeah,
thanks,
I'll see you
Katie.
Thursday evening.
Thank you.